Hi everyone, my name's Don Meyer. I'm the director of the Sibling Support Project based in Seattle, Washington. Thank you, Ursula. Thank you, Volker, for inviting me to say a few words about the work of my project. I direct a national project here in the United States dedicated to the lifelong concerns of brothers and sisters of people with special health, developmental, and mental health concerns. And when I tell people about what I do for a living, I tend to talk about wearing one of two hats. And one of the hats I wear is trying to convince people why brothers and sisters are too important to ignore. And the points I always try to leave with people are 3 or maybe 4 points. The first point being anything we can say about being the parent of a person with special needs, we can pretty much put ditto marks underneath for brothers and sisters. If we take a look at the clinical and research literature that's out there about brothers and sisters, we see that time and time again, SIBS experiences parallel parents' experiences. But when we take a look at the services and considerations that brothers and sisters get compared to the services and considerations that parents get, it's easy to see who's getting the short end of the stick. So the first point again, SIBS experiences parallel parents' experiences. The second point I try to leave with them is that brothers and sisters are likely to have the longest lasting relationship with that family member with special needs. They'll certainly be in the lives of that person longer than any service provider will, but they'll probably be in the lives of that person longer than even the parents will. This is a relationship easily in excess of 65 years. So that after the best special education program is a distant memory, and when mom and dad are no longer there to look after the affairs of the family member with special needs, it will likely be the brothers and sisters who will assure that that family member leads a dignified life living and working in the community. So consequently, sibling issues are lifespan issues. Preschoolers who are SIBS will have some unique concerns. Senior citizens who are SIBS will have some unique concerns. And those concerns are going to change and evolve throughout the individual's and indeed the family's lifespan. The third point I like to leave with people is that over the long haul, probably no one spends more time, logs on more hours, more minutes with that family member with special needs than the brothers and sisters. And then finally, as wonderful as inclusive classrooms are, and don't get me wrong, they're wonderful, but no classmate in an inclusive classroom is going to have a greater impact on the social development of that child with special needs than that child's own brothers and sisters. Now, those 4 points right there, I think, make a fairly compelling argument as to why we should be thinking about brothers and sisters at every turn. Yet I find myself frequently in the ludicrous position of having to remind my friends, my colleagues, people who worship at the altar of family-centered care and family-centered services, and I'm having to remind them that brothers and sisters are a part of the family. And I think we need to do a lot better job of inviting brothers and sisters out of the literal and figurative waiting rooms of the service delivery system and to give them the seat at the table they richly deserve. My project has a number of sibling-related initiatives. We have a very active Facebook group for teen SIBs and also one for adult SIBs. This is one called SibNet. If you're an adult SIB, you might wish to join us. It's an English-speaking group, I'll be quite honest about that. But we're probably best known for helping local communities start these things that are called SIB shops. SIB shops. They're peer support and education programs for school-age brothers and sisters. And SIB shops are our attempt to provide young brothers and sisters with the same kind of common sense peer support that parents get from a good parent-to-parent program or good parent support group. And that opportunity to benefit from connecting with someone who's walking down a similar path is one of the many ways that SIBS experiences parallel parents' experiences, but SIBS often don't have that opportunity. And that's what we're trying to do with SIB shops, is to give young SIBs a chance to have that. So SIB shops combine games, lots of games, peer support, cooking activities, recreational activities, craft activities, with discussion activities where they can talk about the good parts and maybe not so good parts of having a SIB with other kids who get it. There's been some research that's been done on the impact of SIB shops, and I'll go over them real quickly with you. These were people who had attended SIB shops when they were younger and then are now adult SIBs themselves. Over 90% of the respondents said that SIB shops had a positive effect on the feelings that they had for their brothers and sisters. 3/4 said that SIB shops taught coping strategies to the kids who attended. 3/4 said that SIB shops affected their adult lives, and 94% said that they would recommend SIB shops to others. But the one that's the finding that said that 3/4 reported that SIB shops affected their adult lives was really poignant to us, because we've long contended that it may well be that the biggest beneficiary of SIB shops is not the typically developing kids. It may well be those brothers and sisters who have disabilities themselves, because we believe that if we support, inform, involve, celebrate brothers and sisters as they grow up, we increase the chances that they'll elect to remain lovingly involved in the lives of their brothers and sisters. The SIB shop model got its start at the University of Washington here in Seattle over 30 years ago. There are now 450 SIB shops worldwide. They are in Iceland, they're in Argentina, they're in Ireland, they're in Japan. They are in Brooklyn, New York, where they're done for ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities, and they're in rural Oklahoma. And the reason I think they do as well as they do in such diverse locations is they bring kids together in at least 2 universal languages. The first universal language is, of course, shared experiences, but the other universal language is play. We are unapologetically and unabashedly playful in SIB shops. We want these to be fun for kids to come to. We want them to be rewarding on many levels. Most SIB shops are for SIBs of kids with various developmental concerns, and that's everything from ADHD to profound intellectual disabilities. But there are about 30 or so SIB shops, mostly at children's hospitals, that are for siblings of kids with health concerns, and that's everything from asthma to pediatric cancer. And increasingly, we're beginning to see more SIB shops emerge for SIBs of kids with mental health concerns, and that's a woefully underserved population. So again, I hope you have a great conference, and if you want to learn more about the work of the Sibling Support Project and SIB shops, just visit our website. There we go, www.siblingsupport.org. Have a great time, Ursula and Volker, again, thank you so much for inviting me to say a few words.